They got Durk.
The feds do not pick up a case unless it's a slam dunk.
A rapper's alleged revenge. The FBI exposing a network of crimes, including a murder for hire plot that they say Durk Devontay Banks ordered. They say he wanted Quando Rondo dead.
I think maybe he was quiet for a reason.
The guns, cars, credit cards, and flights that the feds say are all linked to Durk. And was there really a snake in the grass amongst his own group, OTF? A snitch wearing a wire? We've got a lawyer breaking this all down for us. I'm Justin Carter in Chicago. This is TSR Investigates. This case is extremely complex and expected to take months, if not years, to try in court. But before we get into this alleged murder for hire plot, how do we get here in the first place? Well, the FBI says on November 26, 2020 is when things really popped off. King Von, a rapper and friend of Lil Durk, and rapper Quando Rondo, they got into a fight at an Atlanta nightclub. It was captured on surveillance. We're not showing the whole thing because it is graphic, but police say that Rondo's friend pulled a gun and shot King Von several times, killing him. Authorities say that Durk made it known that he would pay a bounty to anybody willing to kill Rando. Well, 2 years later, that murder for hire plot allegedly came together and it was captured on camera. Listen closely. That's Georgia-born rapper Quando Rondo, whose real name is Tyquan Bowman. He was frantic, hysterical. August 19, 2022, he and his cousin Saviah Lul Pab Robinson were shot at this Beverly Hills gas station. You can see the Cadillac Escalade they were in shot up.
Can I get some space, please?
First responders pulled Lul Pab out and tried to save him, but it was too late. He died. Rando wasn't injured.
The suspects still on the run.
And the suspects approached from the alley, got out of the car, and started shooting at those victims.
Those suspects, we found out last week, were members of the OTF music group. It stands for Only in the Family, a group that Lil Durk started. The shooting suspects, Kavan Vonnie Grant, DeAndre D.D. Wilson, Keith Flocka Jones, David Brown Eyes Lindsay, and Asa Boogie Houston.
The federal government is way different. The way they do their indictments and the way that they do their discovery and their timelines are extremely more detailed, and they're quick.
Defense attorney Kayla Bumpus isn't connected to the case, but she does know the players involved.
Once you go federal, they pretty much have their case in chief.
She walked us through the federal court records filed just last week. On August 18, 2022, according to the complaint, Durk's associates learned that Rondo was staying at a Los Angeles hotel. That day, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, Houston, and a fifth unnamed suspect all flew from Chicago to San Diego. Quote, using a credit card associated with OTF. Co-conspirator 3 would purchase airline tickets for the co-conspirators to fly to California and murder Quando Rondo. Also that day, Durk sent this text message to an associate, quote, don't book no flights under no names involved with me, end quote. Once all the alleged players got to LA, the OTF members met Kavan Grant, who had already flown there by private jet.
In the indictment, they talk about who purchased those ski masks and that they were purchased the day of the alleged murder.
That would be Grant, a top OTF associate who investigators say got the men hotel rooms, went to a sporting goods store, bought 4 ski masks, and rented 2 luxury cars, a white BMW sedan and a white Infiniti sedan. Grant allegedly gave them guns, including one that had been converted also into a machine gun. The next day, they allegedly made their move. The group followed Rondo and Robinson as they ran errands through Los Angeles. Their final stop was this Beverly Hills gas station. The suspects got out, opened fire into the Escalade, killing Robinson, who was standing outside the car. They missed Rondo, though. They went to an In-N-Out restaurant where they allegedly discussed payment and flew home. DeAndre Wilson allegedly paid them an undisclosed amount also for the crime. And that's where the federal charges stem from. Grant, Jones, Lindsay, Wilson, and Houston were all arrested last Thursday in Chicago on a list of serious weapons charges and conspiracy to commit murder for hire. Durk was also arrested on the same day in Miami.
I know that them being arrested probably prompted some fire to him as well, because they were arrested before he was arrested.
And that's where it gets tricky. Investigators said in part, quote, that after law enforcement made the arrests and executed search warrants in Chicago, the FBI learned that Durk had been booked on 3 international flights scheduled to leave the United States. One to Dubai, one to Switzerland.
And then he had booked a private jet from Miami to Italy. And on his way to board that private jet is where he was arrested.
Arrested before he could even board.
Why would you do that?
Entertainment attorney Bradford Cohen spoke to the Law and Crime Network about this. He told host Jesse Weber that Durk may not have been trying to flee, though.
Dubai is going to extradite you. Switzerland's going to extradite you. These countries are going to extradite. You know, the only places that don't extradite are like you go to Vietnam, you go to Morocco. It was unusual that there were so many booked, right? What's not unusual is sometimes where an individual doesn't know whether or not there's a warrant out for their arrest. And I've seen this before happen in the past, where some associates get arrested. And in order to see whether or not they have a warrant, because that's not public knowledge, whether or not they have a warrant, they'll book an international flight and it'll red flag them. And then they'll get a call from the FBI, or their lawyer will get a call and they'll say like, hey, your client's red flagged. They're trying to leave the country. Just so you know, they're under investigation or XYZ. And you find out information you wouldn't necessarily find out.
We did reach out to Durk's representatives for a comment. We're still waiting to hear back. No attorney information, though, has been listed for the other defendants. Now, it is important to note, too, that several blogs and media outlets claim that OTF Jam, whose real name is Casey Hester, is listed by name in the indictment as a police informant, many claiming that he was wearing a wire around Durk for years to assist police in gathering evidence. Now, we've read all federal court documents related to this case, and OTF Jam was not listed or named in any of them. Durk and the other defendants named, they are being held right now pending transfer back to Los Angeles. We even saw Durk's father. He showed up in court over the weekend for his first court appearance. Now, Durk and the other defendants right now, if convicted, they could face a maximum statutory sentence of life in prison. Of course, we'll be following this. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter. Hello, roommates, and thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Do you want more TSR Investigates? Be sure to subscribe and check us out at theshaderoom.com.